getting a lot of animation films as of late, from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse to Elemental. The next contender is from Dreamworks Animation, and it's entitled Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken.
I am having a panic attack!
This movie is actually interesting because even yung marketing strategy nito parang ang bilis, and hindi ko siya narinig na there was gonna be a movie like this. It's not like all out there in terms of marketing, in terms of the word of mouth as well. This film actually has its ups and downs, and that's what I'm going to be discussing in this review. So let's start with the things that make this film worthwhile to see. The animation style, I think, is very different. It honestly didn't feel completely like a DreamWorks animated film. Kinailangan ko pa actually search who made this movie, what studio, and in a way, it does remind me of the style of Trolls, but not quite. The animation does tend to be extremes. Like, it doesn't go super bright. Like, perfect in brightness and vibrancy of it, but then when it gets to the dark scenes, it becomes a bit too dark in terms of the color. So that's my only big complaint regarding the animation. Everything else was pretty solid. I remember a different movie watching it. I don't know if you recall Smallfoot. I don't remember who made that. Sony ba yun? But that film was something that kept coming into my mind as I was watching Ruby Gillman. So I don't know. It's a different pace and feeling for a DreamWorks film. But its animation, I think, is one of the most praiseworthy thing in this film. It's, again, not like Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, not necessarily like Elemental as well. It has its own style, it has its own, the way the characters are developed is very different. Not unique, but very different on its own. Like, it has its own space and world, and therefore, it was pretty great. I mean, I liked how it was animated. It was interesting enough in that aspect. Even the ratios and compositions of the characters are what makes it have its own life and character, if you will. Now, I also love the characters in a way. I love the grandmama and the mom, the relationships of the characters. Ruby Gillman was actually pretty great here as well. So let's go to something that I didn't really love. It's the story. And you know me by now, as a reviewer, I really love to see a good story behind a film. Ruby Gillman does have its moments, but overall there's nothing quite that impressive to take away from it. Surprisingly enough, as a DreamWorks picture, it felt like it didn't have the identity in its story all figured out. Unlike, for example, How to Train Your Dragon, you know, it's almost like a darker direction, Vikings and all. This one felt like it wasn't all out there. It felt a bit, and I don't mean this in any negative way, felt a bit more kiddie. So yes, it's a story about belonging, finding who you are amidst this society that doesn't accept you, but it also felt like there was nothing much to unearth out of it. It was simple, straightforward. Even the resolution, even the way that the conflicts were resolved weren't all that complex. It was plain, it was simple, not necessarily boring, but it was just straight to the point. And therefore, it's just simplicity. But you can have a simple story and have it amazing. This was just meh for me. But as a whole, this is a movie that's still worthwhile to see, in my opinion. It's a movie that I think all the more the entire family will enjoy in comparison to Elemental. Again, I felt like that movie would appeal more to young professionals, working people. This one, I feel, is something along the space of the entire family. I watched it in a premiere as well, and the kids loved it. The kids were shouting, were laughing, especially in moments that I didn't find funny. But it appealed to them, and that was great. I think a younger audience would definitely enjoy more and would love to see. And yeah, I would actually give this movie a score of 6 out of 10. Again, it's just plain in terms of the story, but it's still worthwhile. It's worth your time. It's exciting enough. It's engaging enough. So yeah, you should definitely check out Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken, when it drops in theaters here in the Philippines. I believe June 28th, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, bring your entire family, the kids, and watch this film. That's pretty much it for this video. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that you're up to date whenever I drop a video here on the channel. As always, don't forget to make every day into an adventure. Stay safe. God bless. Peace out.